Good morning and happy Friday, everybody. Welcome back to the Fumble Live. You see the headlines. We got Ben Simmons today, and just things ain't working out for him. He's not doing what he's supposed to be doing. He's thinking his value is higher than what it is. We're going to talk about that. Plus, recap the start of the NFL season. But before we do all that, please make sure you've hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. Share this video with your friends. And now here's the Fumble Squad. I'm Jackie Ray. You can follow me on all things social media at JRayTheFanatic.
It's your boy, a very, very relieved Chris, and you can follow me everywhere at CK2K.
Tell him you're stressed. Tell him you're stressed.
Nah, my computer, y'all. My computer. First of all, I was having problems last night trying to stream this new 2K, and I come in here, my computer over here looking like the Matrix, but everything's good now. So happy Friday. I'm ready to talk about football and everything we got to talk about today.
Yes, I'm excited. Did you watch the game last night? I know you did.
I did. It was the only one I was excited. I did.
I wasn't sure. You were texting me weird pictures of LeBron during the game that I was like,
well, because 2K, because 2K was dropping at 9 p.m. our time. So I'm like looking back and forth, like, is my game downloading? And I'm seeing homies like that are like in New Zealand and Australia playing it already. I'm like, LeBron look like that. I got to show Jackie, but it was fake and a whole other situation. So yeah, I was watching both. I definitely watched the full game to its entirety.
Yeah, it was actually a good game. Yeah. I thought the Cowboys did a lot better than that I expected them to. Which, shouts out to Dak Prescott, because I was worried about his shoulder rep, because, I have seen him in practice when he threw, and then it was like this wincing kind of thing, and it just didn't look like he was 100% comfortable. But I thought he looked great. He actually outperformed Tampa Tom, which I, was like, okay, good for you. Good to see that. But one of the things that I was interested to see is the run game, because that's kind of going to always be your bread and butter. Cowboys have always had a really dope running back in some way, shape, or form. I did see speculation that they would probably abandon the run without Zach Martin leading the way, which is weird to me, because Ezekiel Elliott is that guy that usually back in the day we were used to him kind of taking a few people with him to get a few more yards, or at least, dipping and, breaking some ankles or something. So to hear that they're going to abandon the run because Zach wasn't in there was a little weird to me. So it was weird to RG3 too. He actually took to Twitter to post about that. So I want to throw up that first tweet. He says they might as well go ahead and trade Zeke to the Ravens. He would get more than 4 carries in the first half. And then to that, Emmanuel responded, talking basically about. He said big facts, but don't nobody want his contract. He said just want Zeke to get his carries to justify his contract and help other running backs get paid in the future. I thought that was a great point to make. Zeke signed his 6-year, $90 million contract in 2019, and for the most part, though, he's right. They kind of abandoned the run. Zeke only had 11 carries for 33 yards yesterday. That was absolutely it, and it wasn't like he was kind of he just wasn't getting the ball at all. They didn't actually design any run plays. I had 2 problems with that. Number one, you have this injury-prone quarterback. I don't know if that's it should be your plan off top, to just be pass heavy. You need to implement some kind of run. But what do you think? What do you think about this Zeke situation and them kind of just saying, you know what, we're going to abandon that for now?
To be honest, I think that we're not thinking hard enough about what you had mentioned at the very top. The missing was Zach Martin, right? Is he the one that is out right now? Yeah, that's a big part because even when he was running, it didn't really seem like he was getting too much. Now, a lot of that has to do with running backs. Some running backs, especially a guy like Zeke, they need the continuous running. They need to feel it out, and everything. I get that, especially first game of the season. I completely get that. But I also felt like as soon as he was getting ready to run, the line was already prepared for him and they were ready for him. And Dak, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Dak, like you mentioned, he went out of his mind yesterday and almost single-handedly got them that game if you didn't give Tom Brady a minute 24 left in the game to do what Tom Brady does, but that's neither here nor there. So when it comes to Ezekiel Elliott, I think it's too soon. I think a lot of everything that we're going to be looking into is too soon. Is Amari Cooper back? CeeDee Lamb dropping balls, but then playing well in the second half. Greg Zuerlein. I think we're going to be making too soon not comparisons. Conclusions as of right now, and I think Zeke is one of them. Definitely would have liked to see him run it a bit more, but I just felt like he was getting eaten up every time he got right there. I think I remember 2 good rushes, but maybe that's just he needs to get the ball a little bit more. But to me, I think Dak did well enough that it didn't bother me enough.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. Dak did really, really well. And I know Cowboys have got to be relieved by that. Cowboys fans have got to be relieved by that. And I definitely was surprised at how they held their own. But, I just got to show you this one moment in time. I'm not going to play the music, but they're already doing this whole Tampa,
I saw it.
I was like, y'all, it's only game one. It's a little too soon to be creating these whole, dancing in the video 90s R&B. Like, it's too soon. It's too soon for me, but I wasn't mad at it. But it's a good meme, but I hate him. Don't be the hater. So I will say this, though.
Always.
I know. I will say this, though. To me, there was supposed to be a pass interference in the fourth quarter, and offensive pass interference. This one right here. To me, I 100% thought it was pass interference. I did not think this should have been a completion because this immediately put them in field goal range. And so I was like, nah, this is definitely pass interference. But I know that I consider Skip Bayless the voice of the Cowboys. And look at this. He says, not enough of a push off by Goodwin to call, very close, but Jay Lewis was already turned around and falling backward. Yeah. So the crazy fan, I don't even like the Cowboys. And if I said it was pass interference, I just expected Skip to say it was pass interference as well. So maybe he's not as crazy in his fandom as I thought. That's number one. But number two, I know you saw that. When you saw it, did you think it was pass interference?
Initially, till I saw the replay, to me, I felt like it was both. Like Skip said, I think it was about 50-50 in my opinion. I think the defender had a lot of hands on him as well, leading to that play. So to me, I was okay with the no call. At first, initially seeing the play, I'm like, yeah, that's definitely pass interference. But I was okay with it. Still hate them. Well,
I know you do. But did you hear the compliment that Tom Brady gave to Dak? Told Dak that he was looking good. And then at the end of the game, in his post game, he also said that the Cowboys made them realize things in them. They played them tough. So does this mean that maybe the Cowboys win more than – I said they was only going to win 8 games, but, that's just –
Yeah. Jackie, remember what I said about, 5 minutes ago about us making way too early predictions and way too early conclusions? I think that's one of them. I mean, all due respect, because Dak looked tremendous. I don't watch the Cowboys like that, but of the games I've watched the Cowboys play, Dak Prescott has not played to that level that we saw yesterday, especially coming off of no training camp. The same shoulder injuries you mentioned, I'm sure it was in the back of his mind, his ankle, because he didn't really rush as much as we're accustomed to seeing Dak rush, but he didn't have to because the throws look good. The first quarter, I was worried because some of those throws look really short, and me and my homies in our group chat, we were talking about Dak throwing short. It's going to be a rough season, and then he just said, you know what, click. And he just went off. So I'm not going to get ahead of myself. I still feel confident in my Giants prediction for that division, but it is very nice to see, especially after him getting paid. And, regardless of what the team is, I'm always here supporting black quarterbacks. I'm glad to see my man Dak out there getting that money after betting on himself. And he's looking like he's earned it in that first week. So hopefully it continues as the weeks go on.
Yeah, I'm definitely proud of how he looked as well. Even Skip Bayless was a little scared about this, starting off the season against the reigning champs. But I think the Cowboys held their own. So congratulations to them. Ghost said they're going to win 7 this year. I said 8. So, y'all giving them more. Yeah, I'm nicer. I am the nicer of the two. But it was good. I'm glad that we're getting back to football. Good times. But now let's go on to this next need to know news, because this is the one that I really want to talk about. And I know you got some other Ben Simmons stuff coming up, but this one's kind of hilarious to me because we've been talking about the 76ers and what they're asking for Ben Simmons. And, it's just becoming a very, very difficult situation. So apparently the 76ers are on this kind of train that the best thing for Ben would be for him to actually report, and then now can start showing that he's improving. So then that way they can say to people, hey, look, we know the tape that you've seen on him, but this is what we're seeing in practice now. He's improving, blah, blah, blah. I got a problem with that. But first, let me get to what Ben says. Ben says absolutely not. It's not his job to fix his trade value. It's not his job to raise his trade value. That's according to Brian Windhorst. He said that is not his job. And here's the funny thing. The way his contract is set up, he will get the $16.5 million on October 1st, just regardless. That's the way his contract is set up. So even if he doesn't report, he's going to get that $16.5 million, and that's before he gets fined. So he doesn't really have a financial incentive to A, follow through and show up, or B, even not even take that fine. So this is a curious thing to me. First and foremost, I don't necessarily agree with what Ben says, but we've seen this from Ben before. We've seen him practice and put stuff on his social media, and none of that stuff translates to a game. So even if he does come and reports, and then they start getting footage of him actually looking better in practice, does that mean anything to another team?
I am the workout hater. That is the nickname that has been dubbed on me, and workouts in IG and Twitter videos are the same as practice workouts. The same thing. You're doing it when there's nobody watching and everybody is on the same level. So I'm not gonna he can go out there and he can be shooting 12 for 12. I don't know why I picked 12, but 12 for 12 from three in the entire practice. And that wouldn't mean anything to me. Dwight Howard is the person I always go to about this because he has not been great at free throws for the entirety of his career. But in practices, everybody from Jason Richardson to great free throw shooters down the line that I can't mention right now, all said that Dwight Howard was out shooting them at the free throw line. I use Dwight Howard because the point of the matter is Dwight's played up to he's 37 years old, and his free throws never improved, okay? So I don't care what you do in practice or in these workouts. Is what the hell you do on the court. And look, Ben Simmons, I get what you're trying to say, but to say that you can't control your trade value, that is one of the stupidest things I've ever heard in my life. Who's supposed to control your trade value? As a GM or owner of another team, I decide whether I want to go after you and what I'm going to give to get you by what I'm going to get out of you. You know what I mean? So for him to say that is just... it's absurd. I think the Sixers, you should be happy with the Sixers because the Sixers been asking for LeBron James type packages for you in return, as if you a superstar in this league. So I don't know what the hell he's talking about in that quote. As far as the workouts and stuff like that, I could care less. I want to see it on the court. The workouts are fine, but all that's going to be in my head is him passing up a wide open layup to give poor Matisse Thybulle a tough dunk at the end of a game. That's all I'm going to see for until he picks up a basketball again on national TV. So it's not going to make a difference to me, and I'm sure it won't make a damn difference for any other GMs.
I mean, and I 100% agree with that. That's why I wasn't horribly mad at Ben Simmons' comment. But my thing is this, the narrative around you is trash. I mean, and it's not even the words that people are saying. It's the game tape.
Thank you. Your footage, yes.
Right. It's not. I've seen reports that says, "Oh, he's kind of mad at what Joel said at the end of that game." Well, first of all, Joel didn't say it right. He didn't name you by name. He just said, "Oh, we missed the shot." Blah blah. But you did miss it though, so you can't really get mad at that. So
I told you before, I would have said his name. No cap. I would have said Ben. I would have, yeah, for sure. I'm sorry to cut you off. Go ahead. I'm so sorry.
No. For you to, I don't even know. It's just, to me, if I was Ben Simmons, I would know that my stock value is just not good, period. So I wouldn't say I wouldn't verbally say anything or do anything that would make that come down further. If anything, I would say, you know what, at the end of the day, I'm under contract. I don't want to be here. But if it's going to help me get out, I'm going to report to practice. I might say something like that, but I'm not going to make it seem like I'm a diva when the narrative around me is that I'm a diva who can't play. That doesn't make sense.
Correct. Yep.
So, I don't know what else to say about Ben Simmons. I do know that the Cavs are interested in him. What do you think about that? Is that if not Cleveland, where else could he actually end up where it might make some kind of sense?
Jackie,
even if he stays at the level that he's at now. See, I think if he stays at the level he's at now, that still makes some sense in Cleveland.
Jackie, look, if we're talking about Cleveland, look, LiAngelo Ball gonna play. He gonna play one game with the Hornets, and Cleveland gonna be interested in LiAngelo Ball. They interested on whatever's gonna help them out, selling tickets and then winning games. You know what I mean? Ben Simmons, look, I've said it, and I'll never stand on this point. I'm never gonna jump in on the Ben Simmons is trash debate. I will talk about Ben Simmons not playing well. He has not been great. And like you've mentioned, his stats go down every single year. But I will never say Ben Simmons is trash. I still believe he's an all-star in this league, and he still has a lot that he can build upon his game. That being said, I think he would be tremendous for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Will they win much? Probably not. But at the same time, at least Ben Simmons will be out there getting his stats up, making selling tickets for Cleveland, and that'd be great for them. But I mean, Cleveland can take whatever they can take. I mean, they got what 5-7 centers on that team. They gonna need somebody else on that squad. But I don't know what Cleveland's trying to do. But anybody makes sense for the Cleveland Cavaliers, Jack. That's the point I'm trying to make. So sure. Sure. That'd be great to see Colin Sexton in Philly, though. Good for it. That'd be cool for Colin.
Yeah, I almost at this point, and I don't have a dog in the 76ers race, but I almost feel bad for them at this point because now they have this player that should be good, but he's not, and they're paying him all this money, and they might end up stuck. Like it's just this whole saga. I kind of feel a little bit bad for them. And, especially Doc Rivers for saying that he wanted to give it another try. And we all basically told him that's not going to work. And now here we are. It's just a whole mess over there in Philly.
But Doc said the right thing. I agree with you. It's like, bro, we gave you your year. It's time to break it up. This is beyond you, Doc. This is before you even got here, my guy. It's not your fault. But Doc said the right thing. I'm sure Doc knows like this guy is talented, and I would love him to run my team as if he actually had that talent that we all know he had. So Doc said the right thing, but it's just like you said, that has run its course, my guy. This is beyond you, Doc Rivers. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry.
I am Ghost said Simmons was better in LSU. But the thing is like we all know he was better back when. He was better in 2018.
Yeah. Yep.
If we can get 2018, Ben, everybody would be happy. So
yep.
Good luck. I know we got some more Ben news coming up, but let's get into the Friday poster. I'm so glad it's Friday.
Amen.
Longer than it man.
Man, and it was a 4-day week, and it still felt like it was longer than a regular week. Crazy. Well, yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to post up with your boy Chris here on this fine Friday. It's fine now after I'm telling you, this computer thing. Y'all don't understand. My heart before this show. Anyways, it's not about me. It's about Ben Simmons because we're going back to Ben Simmons. We're actually not going anywhere because we're still going to talk about Ben Simmons because you heard me and Jackie give our opinion. Saw some of you guys' opinion in the chat. But Shaquille O'Neal and Charles Barkley, two people that I normally don't care for their opinions on basketball because they say typically the same things. Both of them, in my opinion, were preaching when it comes to this whole Ben Simmons situation. I think they both dropped some very, very good dimes on this whole entire Ben Simmons situation, and I want you guys to hear it. I actually agree with them, and who knew? So here's Charles Barkley and Shaquille O'Neal talking about this whole Ben Simmons crap.
76ers experiment. It looks like that the Ben Simmons Philadelphia 76ers experiment is going to end ugly.
Well, I'm disappointed in Ben Simmons. When you give somebody $200 million to dribble a stupid basketball, and the only thing you ask them is be better as a player, and their first response is, I don't want to play here anymore. That disappoints me as a player. It disappoints me as a fan. They're not saying, hey, come over here and cut my grass. They're saying, Ben, we need you to learn how to shoot the basketball.
I have G14 classification to say what I'm about to say. Okay. And so does Charles Barkley. Ben Simmons, you're not that good. And then in this league, do you want to be good or do you want to be great? You're not great. But if you want to get to that next level, you have to be great. And to be great, you have to work on your game. Don't be putting pictures on your Instagram or your Ferrari or what actress you're hanging around with. When you play for a town like Philadelphia, Boston, LA, Miami, hard-working town,
New York,
they don't give a shit about none of that. They want you to come, work hard, and play hard. I was at that game 6 when that man didn't even look at the basket. And I know as a player, first thing I do is I look in the player's eyes. That man was out there terrified. Not terrified of playing, but terrified of being fouled and missing free throws. Forget all that.
What's crazy, when you see videos that he put up, he's making those shots that he didn't take. Like
making them,
hey, Spice, I live in Philadelphia during the summer. This is the 3rd year in a row they put up them bullshit jump shots.
Tell him, Chuck.
I'm not falling for the banana in the tailpipe anymore.
A lot of these people, you hear from your followers how good you are, how great you are. But you're hearing from some OGs right now. You ain't that damn good. And I said it, and I said what I said. And Chuck said what he said. If you don't like it, do what you got to do. But you ain't that damn good.
I love all that. And I typically do not agree with Charles Barkley and Shaq. I know you're probably with me on that as well. When we come on here and we always roll our eyes with whatever takes they have. But they ain't said none but a word on this. I agree with everything that was said. I love that last part there by Shaq as well, with coming to a workout argument, because I feel like these dudes put out those workouts to make it look good and for the followers to get all hyped up knowing that they're going to eat it up regardless of what it is. But a lot of good things were said there. One thing I wanted to ask you about was what Chuck had said earlier on about the whole quitting thing. You know, we talk about him not playing well and not showing, but that's a good point that we're not really talking about. It's one thing if the Sixers said that they're looking to move him, which they kind of did, but they weren't like really all in until recently. But for Ben Simmons to be the one that didn't produce as well as he's been producing the last few years, and then for him to be the one to quit, that's a whole side of it I didn't even think about. What's your thoughts on that?
I 100% agree with that because it goes back to what we were saying before. Your trade value now is low. Like,
right.
You have to, you know, and again, I think what Dennis Schroeder did was ill thought out. But at the time when he was turning down that $80 million, we were all kind of singing his praises like, oh, Dennis can be this. Dennis can be that. I don't think he was there yet, but we all thought that he could be this. He could be that. So then when he turned it down, we fully expected him to go out there and be that. And he wasn't. We have been saying Ben is this. And then he declines a little bit and like, okay, that was one bad year. He'll be this next year. And then he's not that. And then it's like, now we've just been saying, now you're just not it because we've been saying it for too long. And that's on you. That's not on anybody else. That is on you. 100%. And if you want to increase your trade value, the only way you can do that is on the court, and it's not in practice anymore. We would have like Chuck said, not falling for that banana in the tailpipe anymore. We'd have fell for that like 2 years ago, seeing you in practice, like, oh, here he come. I
tell y'all,
you know, he's shaking it up, but not anymore. Mm-hmm. You ain't getting us like this again. No, sir.
Yep, facts. I try to tell y'all. Like, I get hate all the time, and I'm glad Charles Barkley's on my side now. Yeah, I'm trying to tell y'all, don't fall for him. You can get excited about him, but if you ain't seen nothing happening on the court during those games, don't ever believe what you seen on those damn tapes. Like, you know what I mean? I'm here watching Julius Randle and RJ Barrett do all these crazy things. Cool. Let me see how it works here in a few weeks. You know what I mean? So, yeah, don't fall for those damn workout tapes. I don't care if it's your favorite basketball player. But, yeah, Ben Simmons, the whole situation is just not great. And then I'm still on that quote that Jackie said earlier about telling the Sixers to improve his trade value. What are they supposed to do, dog? Did you hear the offers they were asking these teams for? If anything, they are overselling your trade value. So don't get mad at them. That's all. You look in the mirror, bro. Oh, my God. I like you, Ben. This is coming from love, but golly, man. Anyways, yeah, Shaq and Chuck, they was on point for that one. Yeah, chat's going in saying Ben's overrated and all that stuff. And you know, sometimes it's warranted. But anyways, moving on. From the. No, I'm not gonna do that. That's not a good joke. Going on from the Ben Simmons, the sob story of Ben Simmons, we're gonna go to the MVP and Jokic, and people are excited. Now, I don't know if the producer's trying to get me to do like a Weight Watcher here on the show, but I feel like every damn show I'm talking about somebody's buffness or their weight and this, that, and the third, and it's no different today because we're talking about the MVP himself, Nikola Jokic, and we know Jokic has been known to have his dad bod, but after the pandemic, he came in looking nice. He was slim, looking like an NBA player at his size, and it worked out in his favor, but now it's looking like he's even slimmer, but in a good way. It looks like he is a healthy basketball player. I don't know how else to put it because before that man was the man, he would run like how he was running heavy, but now after seeing how he looked last year, he looks like a damn 7-foot guard. And I know, Jackie, you were one of them, and I want to hear what you think about this. I know you were one of them that was a little worried about that after the pandemic, worried about him putting down some weight because you were saying that he does such a good job at using what he had to his advantage, like strength-wise and stuff like that. And I knew you were worried. But now after seeing him get the MVP with the weight down and now he's putting down some more pounds, are you still worried, or do you think that Jokic is just an animal and he can do whatever he wants with whatever he got?
I think he's an animal and he can do whatever he wants with whatever he got. There was a time when he lost that weight and he said that he just is comfortable at a heavier weight. And so knowing that's what he was comfortable at, then that's part of what made me feel like, okay, his style of play, he is perfected, though he is kind of slow. But like I said, he uses his slowness and his weight to his advantage. But seeing that right there, now granted, I know what we just talked about with practice tapes and all that, but seeing that right there and how agile he is and how he's moving, it might be one of those things where he has to relearn something in his career. He's got that strength, and so now he can use the strength to his advantage the same way he used his size. But he looked great in that tape. So I think he can do. I mean, if he feels comfortable, as long as he feels comfortable, and that's the only thing. As long as he's comfortable in his body, I think he'll do great. But yeah, seeing an agile Joker, I'm with it. I'm definitely
crazy,
with
right?
it.
That's scary.
Yep.
That's very scary. But here it is, Ben Simmons. Back to you, my guy, because listen, like we just mentioned, Jackie had fears. A lot of people had fears of him losing the weight. But what did he do in that next season? He produced on the court with his new challenge in the weight loss. So now we can look at him and be like, all right, he's going to be fine. So because I'm the same way, because, you know, I looked at it and I'm like, I think it's good for him. But will he be able to do the same Nikola Jokic stuff? And he did just that, and then won MVP the following year. So it all comes down to the production on the court. That's why when I see these workout tapes, I can be a little bit more impressed because A, he's the MVP, and B, you're seeing the work, you're seeing the production on the court in the actual NBA season. So I can get a little bit more excited about a tape like this. And plus you're seeing workouts and stuff. So it's not just all basketball, jump shots and things like that. And I also want to, I know we're not talking about Ben Simmons anymore, but I love what Alvin Jackson said. He said, in order to shoot 35% in the NBA, you got to be able to make jumpers when nobody's guarding you in practice. So that's no surprise that people can shoot the lights out in the gym with no defender. And that's half the battle, Alvin, because then you also have to shoot during the games. Ask Lonzo Ball. That man was out there throwing air balls in a Laker uniform all over the place, but now he's one of the better three-point shooters in the league. You got to do it in the games so you can get accustomed to it. It's just not some people are slow learners, and Ben Simmons will never know because he ain't shooting the ball. I can talk about this all day. Ben Simmons gets on my nerves, man. He should be so much better than he is. I mean, let me stop. Moving on. All right, moving on. I'll stop. The Clippers, ladies and gentlemen. The Clippers fans are a little upset because I guess their schedule is they got a bit of a rough schedule, and I'm not talking about as far as like the difficulty of the teams that they're playing, but the difficulty of the trips and the amount of games that they are having throughout the season. And it's not even in just one instance, it's for several instances for this team. And I'm going to explain right now if I can get the tweet up and show you guys specifically what I'm talking about. Specifically is such a hard word to say for me. But as you can see in the graphic before I even read the tweet, the most 5 games in 7 night stretches, meaning the Clippers have 5 games in 7 night stretches. And then you see the Trailblazers as well and the Spurs. But the difference between the Clippers, Blazers, and Spurs is the Clippers have that on several occasions. No other team has that. So let me read the tweet for you guys. Safe to say the Clippers got the short end of the stick. They have 5 games in 7 night stretches. 7 teams have 0 such stretches. So I take that back. So the Blazers and the Spurs also have similar situations. So basically, you know, you have 7 days in the week, and not all teams will play 5 games in that week. More times than not, you're going to probably play 3 games, maybe 4 games that you saw the Spurs. But for the most part, it's about 3 games in a 7-day week span. That's just normally how it goes. But the Clippers, in 5 different occasions, will be playing 5 games in 7 nights. That is a lot for a team. And the Blazers also have a similar situation, and the Spurs with 4. Jackie. And then the Lakers, as you saw on the graphic, the Lakers only doing it one time. And then also by the graphic, some teams aren't even dealing with it. I remember the Knicks last season, we had 3 of them, and we also had the 3rd hardest schedule in the season, but we only had 3 of them playing 5 games in 7 nights. So Jackie, as a Laker fan, I need you to take the bias hat off for a second. Hear me out. Do you think that this is, especially with Kawhi being out and a lot of moves and changes that they did, do you think that this is going to be a heavy disadvantage, or are Clippers fans just looking for whatever and they should be able to deal with it because the Clippers are a good team?
I mean, I always hate when this happens because I do think it's a disadvantage, and I don't think it's fair not only for the players, but it's not fair for fans. You get fatigued. And you just, playing back to back like that. We've talked about that in the bubble, playing like that back to back. It takes a toll on the players. If it took a toll on the players, then it'll take a toll on the players now. And there's just a level of fatigue that you're going to go through as if you're just a human being. I don't know, because I haven't looked at their schedule. Maybe I'll give it a pass if most of those, when they have those stretches like that, if most of those games are easier games and played in LA, then, so then they don't have to travel. Then, maybe if that's the case, I'll be like, oh, okay, it sucks, but it's not horrible. If they're traveling a big bulk of that time, then it's horrible because now you have to travel, deal with the jet lag, being in a new city, and you're doing this 5 nights in a 7-day span. That's too much. It's too much. And I don't know how that scheduling plans out. I feel like there's ways around where you can make it so maybe every team has to do that once, but this happening several times in the season is crazy. I feel like there's got to be a workaround to that.
Yeah, I don't know who the shaman is that is on that very, very high mountain that puts out the season schedules every single year. I always try to find out who this magician is, but I don't understand why something like this couldn't be spread out amongst the league. There shouldn't be teams that do have to deal with this and teams that don't. That I don't understand that part of the schedule making process. It should be a way where if everyone has to do it 3 times, or maybe some teams do have to do it 4 times, but at the very least, still other teams are dealing with it at least 2 or 3 times. So yeah, that part of it I don't understand. It seems very lazy and very simulated. So I just like the tweet says, it just seems like the Clippers got the short end of the stick. I don't think it had anything to do with anything else, but yeah, it's gonna be rough on them. I don't know entirely how many of those are home games and whatnot. I do know the Spurs have the more away games of the stretch compared to the 2 other teams, but they're only doing it 4 times. I don't know. I don't know the details on it, but yeah, Clippers got a rough one on that one for sure, along with the Blazers. But we'll see what happens. Maybe, hopefully, like Jackie said, hopefully a lot of them are home games and it won't be as big, but it's still going to be a lot of fatigue for the players to deal with. So we'll see what happens. So now going to the football world, we had the NFL officially tip off yesterday with the Buccaneers playing the Cowboys, and Dak Prescott almost had my back. Yesterday I said I was hoping the Cowboys would get this W so I can see the Buccaneers start 0-1. Dak tried to help me out, but then he gave Tom Brady a minute 24, but that's neither here nor there. What is something that I noticed, and I'm glad we get to talk about now, is Tom Brady is just, he's just an audible GOAT. He does what he wants to do, and it always works out. I always used to give that that award to Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning, I feel like his offensive coordinator didn't ever have to do anything because they would call a play, and you would always hear Omaha, meaning that he's changing up the play every single damn time. So Tom Brady did something very similarly, and it was caught on TV so much so that the commentator was like, nope, he doesn't want that one. It was pretty funny. And my favorite part, Jackie, look at the offensive coordinator's face after Tom Brady says, F your play, we going with what I want. So check out this video. It's hilarious.
Room to go by Brown, and I think if I were AB, I would have taken that.
Not doing that. Nope. No. Nope. We're doing this instead, boys. Watch the
Gronkowski, he's gassed right now. He comes out on this play.
That is that face of that kid where, I don't, when kids have good ideas, we should try going under the monkey bars and do this and do a somersault, and that one kid's like, or maybe we should do 5 jumping jacks, and everyone's like, no, I like Timmy's idea better, and that kid's just there like, okay, I was just trying to. Yeah, that's exactly the face I saw from that coach. He's like, all right, Tom, you right, yeah. And he's sweating. I know it's the Florida heat and whatever, but it was just so perfect because he's there sweating like, okay, Tom, my fault. Yeah, do what you gotta do.
I'd be like, this is my job. And Tom was like, no, it's not.
No, idiot.
Placeholder. No. And Tom was just disrespectful with it though, too.
He
it wasn't kind of like,
bro.
No. It was like, no. Why is this even in here?
And he's staring at him like, no, idiot. Is it look. We need to run the music. Just a slow zoom on his face. It goes black and white. It's like, why am I here? Am I a joke to Tom Brady?
Right? Oh no.
Yeah, man. I was like, yo, Tom's so dirty for that. But also in Tom's defense, this was during that stretch that I was talking about to close to win the game. So Tom Brady, he turns into another beast. So hopefully the offensive coach, I think his name is Coach Leftwich. I don't remember what his name is. Hopefully he understands that Brady's just doing what Brady does right now, and it ain't nothing personal, but he's going to do what he has to do. And it worked out because they got their field goal and they ended up winning the game. But his face, oh, my God, I felt for him, but it was so funny at the same time, bro. Anyways, moving on from that play to some referee shenanigans, ladies and gentlemen. The refs got caught in 4K rigging the game. Or did they? I don't know, but I'm going to jump into it because I'm no fan of no damn zebras. I ain't no fan of no damn zebras. And I think this was following the play where Dak Prescott hit his tight end and he went out of bounds and they had to review it. And I think this is that time. I could be completely wrong. But check out what the referee said while he saw on mic.
Well, that's okay. Uh-oh. Yeah, well. Got that mic.
That might cut. I just wanted one more word. I just wanted one more word. Let's just say what. Let's just say it what. But yeah, the game. A lot of people saying that this is it. It's official. The game's being rigged. Jackie Ray, how you feel when you hear that?
So I'm not mad at people saying that. What I thought was, because there was a taunting play that was called. So this was
right,
offsetting
with the 2 linemen. Right.
So the taunting is the one that I feel like he was like, all right, let's just say, because I feel like both of them maybe.
Oh, is that the play? Got you. Yeah. Got you. Okay.
I feel like they were like, that's not really taunting. And then the one ref that had his hands on his hips was like, the rules are the rules. That's what I feel like he said. And then he was like, all right. Let's just say, oh, wait. Your mic is on.
Hold on. Yeah. Hey, man, turn that thing off, bro. Yeah, man. Okay, so if that's the play, yeah, I don't know. A little less. I don't know what could be rigged because, like you said, it got offset. So if that is the play, then all right. But still, not a good look because that only means how many other instances do we hear? Let's just say, or let's just go with. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like we know this, but actually hearing it come from the referee's mouth on mic. That only confirms it further.
Don't get me wrong. Even though I'm not saying they cheated on this play, I'm thinking this was a whole. I don't really want to call this taunting thing, but then one of them was like super stickler for rules. But I do think a lot of times they be walking up to each other like, "Did you even see what happened? Man, I sneezed."
Right. 1,000%. Yeah.
Let's just call this.
Yeah. Because that's my thing. Because you always see that, like, the referee that's close to the action, they do this thing, and then like you're waiting, like, are you gonna call it out of bounds? That definitely was a catch, but nothing happens. And then they go to the camera, and the other referees are going to that same idiot that didn't even see the play, asking him, like, so what was it? So knowing that he's the one making the decisions when you didn't even see the play, you know that there's some shenanigans going on. Anyways, yeah, this just confirms that further, in my opinion. But a bright spot of last night, outside of having to be forced to watch the Cowboys and the Buccaneers, was seeing Drew Brees. Drew Brees made his debut on the ones and twos, being a reporter or a sideline correspondent, if you will. And to be honest, just seeing that, I just sat there and I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Because Drew Brees, and I thought he did a great job. I would like to see him do, he's going to be doing a college game this week. I think it's Notre Dame. So he's going to be doing a actual broadcast then, because I want to hear him do that. I think Drew Brees would be great for that. But as a sideline correspondent, I thought he did great. I had a great time with it. I think a lot of Twitter agreed. I saw nothing but compliments going his way throughout the entire night. I thought Drew did a good job. Drew Brees, that's what he does. He knows the game. I hate to compare the two, but very Tony Romo-esque, where they just have a great feel of what the game is. So, their opinions are going to be funny here. But, here was his debut and his proper introduction.
And we are proud to welcome the newest member of our team, most prolific passer in NFL history, Super Bowl champ,
keep going, Mike.
Future Hall of Famer. We will get 9
keep going.
That's enough.
Right.
Welcome to TV.
Welcome. Hey, I'm not going to lie. I see the guys warming up behind me. I feel like I should be out here getting warmed up.
No. Stay right here.
I'm happy to be here. Love being on set with you guys. Thank you.
And they also did a fun bit. I don't know if you saw it, Jackie, where they were like in a barbershop talking, but it was a barbershop in Tampa Bay. Did you see it? And they was like, I'll put a Buccaneers in the back. He's like, look, if you put a Buccaneers on the back of my head, I'm gonna have to walk out like Tony Dungy and be bald for the rest of my day. So I thought that was pretty funny. But Jackie, man, that's our guy. We had a little bit of rough patch right before the end of his career, but nonetheless, that's still our guy. How'd you feel about his correspondent debut?
I was really happy. I posted it on my Instagram as well. I thought he did a good job. I thought he looked great. Just hearing him, like you said, kind of compared him to Tony Romo, because Tony Romo went in and was an instant natural. So I'm with you. I want to hear him do the whole game. Tony Romo is the GOAT though of commentating. So he is hands down the GOAT. So shouts out to him, but still it kind of made my heart smile and cry at the same time, because as much as I'm looking forward to Jameis and he's my quarterback, period. I can't wait to get my jersey. Like you said, now I feel like I'm closer to Drew because we went through something where I was like, man, screw you, Drew.
Yeah, right.
Sorry. And I was like, okay,
let me
Drew.
Learn. Right. Mm-hmm.
So, like you said, that rough patch, but I'm glad to see him going forward with a smile. Like I said, he looks great, and I think he's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, I have a few Twitter responses here, that were echoing that sentiment. This one right here was my favorite one. It's coming from a Falcons fan saying, all the years we faced him twice a season, Now I gotta see him on Thursday Night Football every week. This too much. I was like, yeah, you do. And then this next one is just how I felt. You know, that's my goat.
Yeah, me too.
That slow tear. Like, it was like it's a mix between this one or the Michael Scott one where I'm just happy crying. Like, all right, Drew, you've officially this is your next chapter. Okay, Drew. Okay. So yeah, man, it's gonna be fun. I think he's gonna be fun to watch this season. I'm interested to see how he does during the college football game to see if that is, if he can do the side. I really think that he could be a good play-by-play caller. I really think he could. So I want to see how that goes, and maybe that's the next step for him on Fox. We'll see. And Fox team is stacked up. Maria Taylor over there. They got Mike. They over there stacking up with some of those people over there. I ain't gonna lie to you, but that's neither here nor there. Moving on of Mr. Drew Brees into someone else that we used to have to play 2 times a year, and that's none other than Cam Newton. Cam Newton dropping some nuggets. I'm really excited to play this clip for you guys because it is in my opinion, it is a good take that that might be the truth. It might be the factual reason that I can't remember. I think you mentioned, or maybe I mentioned, or maybe I heard it from someone else, but Cam Newton over here dropping what he feels is the real reason that the Patriots ultimately decide to cut him rather than keep him next to Mac Jones. Because that's the question that we've had here on the Fumble. But Cam Newton making a very, very solid point as to why he got cut. So there it is.
The reason why they released me is because indirectly I was going to be a distraction.
Without being the starter.
Without being a starter.
Yeah.
And this was
but
not
how? Verbally or in the locker room?
Just my aura.
Okay.
Just my aura. And that's just, and I told you this off camera. That's my gift and my curse.
Yeah.
When you bring a Cam Newton to your facility, when you bring a Cam Newton to your franchise, people are interested by mere fact
they
of
are intrigued.
Who is he?
Yeah.
Why does he wear his hair?
Yeah.
Why does he talk? Why does he act? Why does he perform? Why does all these questions?
Yeah.
So let me be honest with you.
Come to me.
Saying this.
Yeah.
If they would have asked me, would I play behind? They said, Cam, we're going to give the team to Mac.
Okay.
You're going to be the second string. We expect you to be everything and some to guide him throughout this tenure.
Okay.
I would have said absolutely, yeah.
Cam.
But listen.
Cam.
Listen. The truth of the matter is this. He would have been uncomfortable.
With you looking over his shoulder?
Yeah.
You felt like that?
Yeah, he would have. And they knew because you have to understand.
You are intimidating presence now.
That is true.
Yeah.
And it comes by mere fact of me being me. Like I don't like when you would see a practice clip of, me dancing or them playing music. Man, if you put a hidden camera of me in my kitchen and you play some music, I'm still gonna be bobbing my head, listening to the music in the car. That's just how I get myself going.
Well, what?
Yeah. Very good point. I don't think anyone can disagree with that one. I think for the Patriots side, they just wanted to make it as easy as possible for Mac Jones, and he's right because I know we be talking about it. I think the anytime Mac Jones has a bad throw, a bad game, there's always gonna be that possibility of is Cam gonna be the starter again? When Cam did this happened, and then the camera's always gonna be on Cam. And it's very true, very true. I don't care enough because I'm not crazy about Mac Jones, but in a football standpoint, in a Mac Jones standpoint, I do get that, and I hear where Cam Newton is coming from. So hearing Cam's thought on why he got cut, Jackie, do you agree, disagree? What's your thoughts?
I 100% agree. And it's not that hard to really understand what he's saying.
Right.
I forget the beat reporter for the Patriots, but had written an article about how it was going to be interesting because at this time we were pretty much there that Mac Jones was probably going to be the starter, but Cam was going to be the backup. So the beat writer had written this article that basically said it's going to be an interesting dynamic to see how this works because Cam has won the locker room. Like guys are rallying around Cam. They like to be close to Cam. They like his energy. So when you're handing off your team to this rookie quarterback and he doesn't command the locker room in the same space, that's a problem. Mac Jones is not the guy who can take being at the helm and not being the leader of the squad at the same time. I don't like that man. You can tell that about him. That's number one. Number two, Cam is 100% right. When you're an organization that has decided, hey, we're going to move on in this direction, but all the media wants to talk about is the second string quarterback. That's not the Patriots way. That's going to be a distraction. Belichick is going to be, after the game, somebody's going to say something to the effect of, oh, you know, Mac Jones was almost intercepted there. If he had been intercepted at that point, would you have considered starting Cam Newton? Belichick's going to get tired of answering questions like that. So it really was a situation
Mac
of if we keep Cam here, the narrative is going to remain around Cam Newton, and we want to go on a different direction. So I think he's 100% correct. The only problem I had is him deciding to cut a hole in his hat and stick his hair out the top. But other than that, I thought he was spot on in everything else.
looking like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, man. That his hair is turning into a whole antler now. Cam doing his thing, man. But he's right. It's a damn lightning rod because people looking at it like, what the hell Cam doing? People going to talk about Cam. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. All right, so wrap up, post up. I got drama for you guys. And it's coming from the baseball world. So I got to talk to y'all about drama in baseball. But it's crazy. This is insane. I was looking at this, and I'm just like, what is going on right here? Who's in the wrong? Who's in the right? Nobody's in the right, but it's a whole situation. But let me break this thing down for you guys. Tim Anderson, ladies and gentlemen, he is a married man, and he has himself in a situation with this lady right here, Miss Sierra Marie. And she is said mistress in the situation. Now, she don't give a damn that she's the mistress in the situation, and she ain't trying to hide about being the mistress in the situation. Don't believe me? Let's go through these receipts. So we have this was just a writer. She'll say who he is. That's talking to Sierra, and Sierra is like here for the conversation and having a full conversation with her. So she, the reporter says, "Did you know Tim was married? Also, I'm an intern for a blog. That's why I'm asking." Sierra said, "Everyone knows he's married." To that, the intern responds, "So why would you purposely hook up with him knowing that he's married?" This girl Sierra says, "Why does he cheat knowing he's married?" Boom, Tim's fault. And you know what? She has a point. Intern saying, "You're absolutely right on this. So basically, if he has no problems breaking his vows, you don't care either." And then she just simply liked that comment. She didn't respond. And then she came back to Sierra saying, "What made you come at Bria, his wife, the way in that tone that you did? She has she always known about you?" Sierra said, "Why exactly are you asking?" The intern said, "As I told you before, I'm an intern for a blog. We're trying to get your side of the story and hear what you have to say." And then Sierra just said, "Ask her." And it's not done there, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, you got your popcorn here, following along because it gets messy. So then on that, the intern then responded to the asker saying, we just wanted to get your side of the story to be fair." Sierra opens up by saying, "I told her what's up. She wanted to keep calling me, so it is what it is. He told me to block her, and she should have listened." And then she dropped a bunch of emojis, and the intern liked that. To that, she responds, "Do you have any receipts or anything else that you want to share?" And she said, "Nah, can't do that to him." And she's talking about Tim. But then proceeds to drop these pictures to show that this is real because the pictures are of them posing in separately, but in the same spot in their hotel or whatever room they're at. So she's like, "No, I can't do that to him. But I had these, though. Watch these pictures." And then after all this goes down, she still ended up posting receipts, but this time on her own story of this. Well, it's the phone calls that she's dealing with, and the phone calls that she's ignoring. She has him under answer Timothy. That's Tim. And she then said this on her story saying, "Yo, Bria Love, stop calling me, trying to keep track of Tim. It's annoying and pathetic." Now, obviously, it's under Tim, so I don't know if she's using Tim's phone to get a hold of her, but that's pretty crazy. So this whole entire thing is a mess. So let me run it down real quick, and we can go back for. All right, real quick. Tim, baseball player, cheating on wifey with Sierra. Sierra doesn't care because Tim doesn't care about wedding or care about marriage, and Bria knows about it, which is the wife, and she's upset about it, using Tim's phone to call said mistress to tell her to stop. Mistress don't listen, and now she's sharing it on her IG story. Crazy situation. Jackie Ray. Who is the messiest of them all? Is it said mistress, who I think, or is it said wifey for still sticking with Tim and then trying to like who's what? Help. Exactly right. Me too. Yeah.
Let me just say this. I don't understand women who stay with men who cheat, period. I don't understand it. I don't believe in the whole people say, oh, people can change. No, the hell they can't. I believe that people don't change at their core. They modify their behavior. So they might work a little bit harder at not cheating, but cheating still crosses their mind. And when cheating crosses your mind, there's a chance that you can do it again. So I do believe in my heart of hearts, once a cheater, always a cheater. You might try hard not to cheat on you. But and especially men who feel like they can do it and you'll stay, have zero incentive to be better people. So I am very anti a woman staying. And what I'm damn sure not going to do is call the mistress. She didn't marry me. So that's the only thing that she said that I agree with. She didn't marry me. The person that married me owes me the explanation. But what you're not going to do, you got these... You got these young old women marrying these young boys for money. I'm married to you and love you, and you think I'm not going, oh, okay. I'm cool on us parting ways if we just grow apart. But when you keep calling this girl and she feel comfortable, okay. Well, watch this lawyer. Give me the keys to my house. You can go get out. You go live with Miss Sierra at her mama's house. But what you're not going to do is stay in this house no more.
At her mama's house. Yeah, nah. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm with you. I don't understand why the wife even reaching out to why? For what reason? Go straight to Tim. Are you that are you that worried and scared of breaking your marriage when this guy obviously does not give a damn about you and your situation? It seems like he knows that you know, and he's still doing it. Like, I don't know, man. This is a whole guys, man. I say it all the time. We're the worst. Guys are the worst, man.
Zen Master is like, I'm going to show you how horrible men are. He said a man is only as faithful as his options. Ladies, if you happen to be dating Zen right now, I'm going to tell you right now, he ain't got no options is what he's just saying to you right now. The only reason he's focused on you is because he ain't got no other options. Abandon that ship and move on.
Zen. Brother Zen, no, bro. No. U-turn. Get out of there, man. This ain't the fight. That's not the one. That's not the take.
Well, that's what Jackie, it seems like I got you all riled up and ready to go for what we're not going to do. So please go right into it and take it away.
Ooh, I could do a whole what we not going to do off of that Zen comment. But I'm just going to keep it football. I'm going to keep it football. But I'm telling you right now, sister girl, if you dating Zen, he ain't got no options. That's the only reason you in this. You might want to check his phone. You might want to put some sort of tracker on his phone. But anyway, let's move on to what we not going to do. Because this one is also kind of funny to me. Because what do I say all the time? I say sometimes, a lot of times, especially when you're put into a situation too quickly, college talent does not translate to NFL success. If and when your college talent does not translate to NFL success, what you can't do is be out here making excuses for it, right? You just got to go out there, put in the work, level up, but you can't make excuses for it because you haven't proven yourself yet. And don't nobody want to hear excuses from a rookie. Let's go to Jamar Chase on that one because he is proving my point 100%, and I appreciate it. Now, just to be fair to him, he didn't play last season with LSU. He didn't play at all last season, but the season before that, he had 84 receptions and almost 1,800 yards and 20 touchdowns. So obviously, kid can play. But now when we're in the NFL, so the very first preseason game, he was only targeted once. He caught that for 16 yards. Second game, he was targeted 3 times, did not catch a single pass. And in the final preseason game, he was only targeted once, and he didn't catch that. So in my head, that's 5 targets. That's not enough of a sample size to even really get worried. Obviously, we have a little bit more work to do. Maybe he needs to get more rotations in, build a little bit more chemistry, whatever. To me, this is not enough of a sample size to be out here making full-on excuses. But he did. He made probably one of the dumbest excuses I've seen outside of, the options thing. But, aside from that, he probably made one of the dumbest excuses. He says, the ball is different because it's bigger. It doesn't have the white stripes on the side, so you can't see the ball coming from the tip point. So you actually have to look for the strings on the ball at the top, which is hard to see because the whole ball is brown and you have 6 strings that are white. But for the most part, you just have to get used to it and find out what I'm comfortable catching. So he's basically saying, ball's different. We don't play with the same ball that we played in college. No, sir, that's just not something that I think that you say if you're a rookie. Because like I said, this is an easy out for you. You could just be like, you know what? I took all of 2020 off. I'm obviously shaking off the cobwebs. I'm going to get back in the swing of things. I've got a trainer. We're working on this. You know, I'm practicing with this guy, blah, 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 blah. But what you don't say is the ball's different. I can't see it when it's coming. That is not what you say. It just looks ridiculous and you sound absolutely foolish. I am not a fan of this at all. I think he's tripping. I think I have another tweet. I think I have a couple more tweets. He commented back on this because obviously he was trending because of this. And he says, ha, I never said it was hard to catch. They asked me what the difference was in the ball. Don't change my words. Okay, let me reread it again. He says, the ball is different because it's bigger. It doesn't have the white stripes on the side, so you can't see the ball coming from the tip point. So you actually have to look for the strings on the ball at the top, which is hard to see because the whole ball is brown and you have six. That sounds like I can't see it. The ball's different. That's what it sounds like to me. I just think that this is not something you say because now, granted, he's not saying it like I say it, but that's how I hear it. Y'all see this ball is way different than what we played with college. I need my college football back. It just sounds absolutely wrong. And it's something you should have anticipated. Of all the things you could have anticipated going into the league, you could have anticipated the ball being a little bit different. And if it is that different, just don't say anything. This is the say less moment. This is funny to me. Chris, what do you have to say about our man, Jamar Chase out here? Like, this ball is different. I can't see it.
I've been saying that I'm worried about this kid, man. I'm a little worried because this is not the first instance since he's been drafted where it's just like, what happened to the LSU kid? Like, who are you? Like, are we seeing your true colors? I'm not gonna jump to no conclusions. You know, maybe it's just having a rough start to his career mentally and on the field and whatnot, but I'm worried, man, because I get it. That's a really good way to look for the ball. But if that was his game and that's how he was making those catches and he got to adjust, that's like learning the game all over again. So I don't know. Yeah. And then on top of that, to then respond and be like, that's not what I said. When, yes, that is exactly what you said. Jamar, man, I'm rooting for you, bro. Like you've been saying, Jackie, the chemistry is there with him and his quarterback. So hopefully they'll be all right. But I'm worried for the kid, man. I hope that this is just, a little bit of a bad moment and he'll be all right and he'll turn it around. But golly.
Yeah, and it's so funny because right before I saw this whole comment that he said, I saw a clip on, I think it was either, they played it last night during the game too, and I saw it on, I think it was Instagram or TikTok, where there's a helicopter flying in the air and then just drops a football and Grunk catches it. And I'm thinking about this guy. I'm like, so you trying to tell me that Grunt can catch a ball from a helicopter and and the sun is shining in his face?
Jamal would have lost it.
You see Grunk like, there it is. And he catches it. And Jamar would have been like, the ball's different. I can't see it. It's stripes. There's no stripes. Bro, that is the absolute worst. So Donnie, thank you for the $5. He said, don't be too worried. Whoopi is on the way, bro. Oh, he's talking to you.
Donnie has been on this. The ship has sailed, Donnie. We got Tibbs now. Yo, Donnie, leave it alone, bro. This man is still be talking about like, yo, Whoopi around the corner, man. Whoopi right around. No, we got Tibbs. We're good. We ain't even talking about that.
That is hilarious. All right, another fun show is in the bag, and it is Friday, probably payday for a lot of you guys. So let's go ahead and start our weekend. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Don't forget to check us out Monday morning, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Y'all be safe out there. We enjoyed y'all this week, and we'll see you on Monday.
Monday. Have a good weekend. Yes.
Y'all.